Reflecting on my professional practice. So for standard CSTP Standard 1, engaging and supporting all students in learning, I learned to find out what the students like and learn about that topic. And then that way I can tie it into subjects that I'm teaching. For instance, there's a big group of my guy students that love cars and they love working on cars. So if I could find any way to tie that into science or have different things that I could tie that into English, which that's pretty simple for English. That just raises the bar on their engagement and their excitement for the topic, and it brings them to school, brings their motivation up and everything. A strength in this area, I think I'm strong in my ability to relate to the students and use that to make the curriculum more interesting. I feel that my age, it can be a pro and a con, but I feel like in this area it's a pro because I remember what it's like to be in their shoes. And so I tie what knowledge that I remember, I tie what I know of them, and I tie just as much as I can into things that they're interested into the curriculum so that they're interested in what I'm teaching. I feel like I can grow in this area, and I just want to be able to do more research on the topic and just areas on how to relate to students and just, I guess, specifically things that they like, my students like, for instance, the cars or makeup or anything that they're specifically interested. I'd like to take more time to do more research on how to specifically tie that into what I'm teaching. For Standard 2, creating and maintaining effective environments for student learning. Something that I learned is the more positive rapport that I have with my students, the more that they respect me, the more that they will listen and learn from me. That saying that they won't listen to you unless they know how much you care is so true. And especially with at-risk youth, they don't care about school that much. And so if they don't feel that the person teaching them cares about them at all or believes in them, then they're not going to work for you. And so building the rapport is the biggest thing, and maintaining that effective and safe learning environment for the students needs to be there. They need to be okay making mistakes and need to be okay, need to feel that I'm somebody to be trusted in order for them to learn from me. I think this is one of my strongest standards. I'm great at the building relationship with the students and promoting a learning in a safe environment. So I'm really good at making class fun and just different for the students. And so that's one of my strengths for sure. Areas for professional growth. I want to do more with the quiet students that blend in. Those quiet students that never really act out tend to slip away. And so I want to focus more on them because they're the ones that they probably need help, but they're just not going to be the ones that express that need. I want to not only make my classroom a fun, safe environment, but to do more to make our site that way too. And so something that my teaching partner and I are actually going to be doing is, since Christmas is coming up, we're going to be decorating the whole site, and we're going to have like competitions for decorations. We're going to assign each group a door, and they're going to get to decorate that. And so that's just kind of a fun thing. We'll do art. That'll be our art class. And so just to do just different things like that make the students think of school as a fun place, as a safe place, as a trusted place that they can go to. For CSTP Standard 3, understanding and organizing subject matter for student learning. What I learned is that every student learns differently and at different rates. And so I think something that I'm strong is in my ability to adapt the curriculum and the content and approach it in a different way to meet the needs of different students. But something that I'd like to grow in is I'd just like to continue to learn different teaching strategies, different EL strategies, different ways to accommodate the work for students that need that, just a different approach to the curriculum that every other student might not need. For Standard 4, planning instruction and designing learning experiences for all students. I learned that the more prepared I am, the more I enjoy the lesson. Like I talked about earlier, the more that I prep, the more interesting the lessons get. And so I think like I said, I'm great at planning fun lessons, but that does require a lot of planning. And so this past year, I've gotten a lot better at that. And I've noticed that my lessons are more fun, they're more engaging. The students love them more when I plan ahead. And I think that I've really grown in this area of planning short-term and long-term plans. For growth, I want to continue to grow in this area because I've noticed how huge it is. I would like to attend another training or conference as well as speak with more professionals that are strong in this area. And I'm going to continue to do research online. Pinterest is my best friend. For Standard 5, assessing students for learning, I learned that assessment can be a variety of things and it doesn't have to be pen and paper. I also learned that assessments don't have to be super long. They can be short and sweet just to get you to the point. Okay, what was the main idea? Did they get that? Depending on the lesson. I think a strength, I'm good at making assessments that don't feel like assessments. So they're not scary or intimidating for the students. But on the other hand, I would like to improve on using formal assessments. I think I don't really use a lot of formal assessments. If I do, it's like group work or it's a project or something like that. Just because of the students that I have, I always thought that they wouldn't do well with formal assessments, which might be true, but it doesn't mean they're going to get formal assessments in college. And so I realize that that's something I need to grow in. That's something that I need to just give them that opportunity to be able to grow in that area. And maybe I can give them different opportunities to make up the work if they did have a poor score, just to show me that they did learn the material. But I think they do need more practice with formal assessments. And if I'm not giving them that opportunity, then I'm only hurting them. For Standard 6, developing as a professional educator. I think this is going to be something I constantly am doing, but something that I learned is I can learn a lot from other educators that have been successful in their careers. So looking at those people that I want to teach like and going and talking to them and asking them what they've done. If I'm struggling in a certain area, just going and talking to them. Luckily, my partner teacher is a great teacher, and so I can go to him anytime. He's super helpful, and I ask him a ton of questions, and he's always teaching me so much. And so that's something that that's one of my strengths. I'm good at asking questions and taking the time to look for information. So, like I said, I go to Pinterest a lot. I look for just different tools, different websites that have ideas from people that have done the things that I want to do. There's so many great resources online. And so I'm great at looking for those things. I'm also great at looking and asking and listening to my colleagues and my bosses that have done it before and done a great job at it. So instead of reinventing the wheel, I always ask around. But I would like to grow my efforts and strategies to work with students' families and supporting student learning. So something that I've noticed that I want to be better about meeting with the families and as well as going into the community and getting the students involved into the community. I feel like that's important, and I feel like that's something I'm lacking in my teaching practice. And so that's what I want to grow in. So that concludes my project. That concludes my reflections. And just thank you for your time. Thank you for all the help that you've given me. And just hope you have a great holiday season.